Welcome to Grab Your Gear. Who picked that new theme music? Just out of curiosity. Was there a raffle? I mean, did somebody like say, I don't want the grill, but I want to pick new music, and that came up? Welcome to Grab Your Gear. I am Joe. Thanks for joining us today. Joined today by Tinfoil Ted, the day before the 4th of July. And Ted, are you responsible for the new music?
Yes. Well, yes, I am. Had to pick some new music.
Yeah, let me just say it sucks, but it's fine if that's what the cool kids like. I guess that's what we'll stay with.
Well, there was a problem. I identified it. I grabbed my gear and I changed it.
Attaboy. Do you have big plans for the 4th of July tomorrow?
No, not really. Just my daughter's first 4th of July, so we're going to be probably back and forth to the house a few times, take some naps, and reload up on some fun sodas. But other than that, not too much. How about you?
What's she gonna do while you're doing all that?
Nap.
Oh, I thought that's what you were doing, napping and having some fun sodas.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll nap too. Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, I'm going to a parade my wife's in. So,
what is she? What's she in it for?
She just crashing it. Not really not even supposed to be there. I think it's a protest thing.
Gotcha.
No, she's a golden apple winner.
Ooh. Prestigious award.
It is kind of. So the rumor is where we live, it's supposed to rain tomorrow. So it'll be a wet apple.
Well, what are you going to do?
Yeah, you're riding a parade. So just so, 4th of July, I mean, I don't want to get into the news because it's right before a holiday and all the news is stupid. So I want to ask you, I'm going to give you share some information. And first thing is, do you know when the Continental Congress voted for independence? When did they actually do it?
The first Continental Congress?
Yeah, not the second.
The first Continental Congress was 17...
Voted for independence on what day?
1774.
No, it's actually 1776. Can you give me the date?
July 4th?
No, it's actually the second.
There you go.
Yeah, it's actually, I didn't know that either. Do you remember President Zachary Taylor?
Oh, yes, he was a good friend of mine.
Well, he died in 1850 after eating spoiled fruit following the 4th of July speech he gave.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Has anybody else died on the 4th of July?
I'm coming up.
Oh, okay.
It's coming up. Don't push it, Ted.
Gosh. Got to keep you on your toes.
What was the first state to actually declare the 4th of July an official holiday?
I'm going to say...
An easy one, Ted.
Delaware.
Massachusetts. The Liberty Bell is tapped every 4th of July. How many times?
50.
13 for the original colonies.
There you go.
You got to deduce some of these. Okay, here you go. 2 people that died on the 4th of July, both patriots, both major role players in the founding of our country.
Hours apart. It was Adams and Jefferson.
That's right. John Adams and Thomas Jefferson, not George Jefferson, like a lot of people think.
A lot of people get that confused.
They do. Calvin Coolidge is the only president that was born on the 4th of July.
Oh.
Did you know that?
No, I did.
Do you know where he's from?
Calvin Coolidge is from, I'm going to guess, Virginia.
Vermont. Went through the big museum in Vermont, the big historical museum at the state capitol. And Vermont's a little liberal. Calvin Coolidge was a conservative Republican who actually was Ronald Reagan's favorite president because he basically said federal government should just basically fight wars and hold ceremonies. That's pretty much what he wanted.
I can get on board with that.
So he's not really heralded in Vermont because right now it's pretty much Ben and Jerry running everything.
So Coolidge is probably literally Hitler in Vermont.
Well, yeah, but nobody's read a book in Vermont in 50 years, so they can't even read about Calvin Cool. He was called Silent Cal.
There you go.
How much do you think Americans spend on fireworks annually?
Annually or in preparation for the 4th of July?
Not just annually, because apparently we like fireworks.
Annually, and that includes,
Mhm.
like, commercial grade fireworks?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say $640 million.
It's actually a billion.
Oh, wow, okay.
That
I was
that
gonna say, like, 800, but I thought that was high.
yeah. So
Interesting.
when did this what year did the Star Spangled Banner become the United States national anthem? And as a little addition to that trivia question,
Mhm.
I have to go to my
Francis Scott
niece's
Key.
wedding a week from Saturday,
Did you
and the guy
is that
she's
on the calendar?
marrying, yeah, it is now.
Oh,
Um, the guy she's marrying is a descendant of the man who wrote the Star Spangled Banner.
Francis Scott Key.
Yeah, his name's John Key.
When was it
When was
official now?
yeah, when was it actually declared our national anthem?
I'm gonna say the 30s? 1930s?
Yes. You're off by a year, and that's pretty damn good. 1931, and I believe it had something to do with the 32 Olympics. They needed to make sure
Okay,
they had yeah,
so
that's how you knew it.
I was trying to figure out, I was like, there was a lot of, was it the LA Olympics in '32?
Uh,
Or was that Lake Placid?
32, I think I think it was LA
I think it was LA.
because 38 was Berlin, right?
Yeah, and Jesse Owens shoved it down Hitler's
Hitler's
throat.
yeah, man, he showed him.
Jesse Owens, great Buckeye.
Yeah, Ohio. Bristol, Rhode Island was the home to the first 4th of July parade in what year?
Bristol, Rhode Island was the home to the first 4th of July parade,
Yeah,
and
not Bristol, Tennessee. Not
yeah,
Bristol,
I'm gonna
Tennessee.
say 1824.
1785. That's earlier
Oh,
than I
wow,
would
that
have
was pretty
guessed.
quick. That's pretty cool.
Um, here's an easy one for you.
Okay.
This
George Washington.
no, this spot in New York hosts the most famous televised hot dog eating contest every 4th of July.
Coney
Wh-
Island.
You got it. And Joey Chestnut will not be there this year. We've covered that, but that's like the 4th of July without fireworks.
Yeah, it's un-American. I don't like
What
it.
did he got kicked out because he was
No, he didn't get
supporting
kicked out.
no, he was
He
told he
was not
can't
he
okay,
wasn't kicked out.
he was refrained. So why?
He because it's a Nathan Hot Dogs, hot dog competition sponsored by Nathan's Hot Dogs. He Joey Chestnut took a sponsorship willingly with Impossible Meat hot dogs. And he said, "Well, can I replace them?" And they
Oh.
said, "No, you cannot replace the Nathan's hot dogs at the Nathan's hot dog eating competition with another brand of hot dog."
So he's under contract that he can't eat another hot dog.
Yeah, which is like stupid on his part to not kind of have the
Very.
foresight of seeing
See,
that. But
I think he's gonna become immediately less famous
yeah,
because he's famous for one thing.
yeah, that's it's a
So,
bold strategy. See if it works out for him.
okay, I'll give you a George Washington question now. You ready?
Hmm.
He celebrated the 4th of July holiday by giving this to his soldiers, a double ration of it, as a matter of fact. What did he give them?
I'm gonna say chocolate or coffee.
Rum.
Rum. There you go. George Washington likes the rum. I love that.
He does. Uh, our neighbors to the north celebrate Canada Day just 3 days prior to Independence Day, just so you know. That's why they're over there partying as well. Just fun fact.
I don't concern myself with the opinions or matters of Canada.
I don't either anymore. I don't either. How old was Ben Franklin when he signed the Declaration of Independence?
It's absurdly young. I want to say it's like 28.
You're wrong. He was 70. Someone
Oh,
else, Edward Rutledge, was the youngest. How old was he?
he was like 19.
26.
Okay, I knew that there was somebody very very young who signed
Yeah,
it.
you are a trivia machine, my friend. You and a math wizard.
Oh, I'm terrible at math.
So how many there's over 300 million people that live in the US today. Like 315, 314 million, something like
340.
that. Yeah, it's a lot. How many were living in the United States in 1776?
1776.
Mhm.
6 million.
2.5 million.
Okay.
2.5
So
million.
relatively close.
Mm-hmm. And here's, I'll just tell you, on July 6, 1776, the Pennsylvania Evening Post became the first newspaper to print what?
Uh, Paul Revere, the British are coming.
No, the
Oh,
Declaration of Independence.
it had been signed.
Yeah, the one they just
Oh,
posted it. They put it online, but
ah,
the British
gotcha.
took down their internet, and so they had to publish it in
So
hard
they had to
copy.
call Elon and say, "Hey, can you send over Starlink so we can add this up?"
Yeah, it was Elon, his
Oh,
great 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 grandfather.
Elon Musket.
Yes. Prior to the Civil War, it was deemed unpatriotic for business owners to do what on the 4th of July?
It was patriotic to
It
do
was
what?
unpatriotic for
Oh,
business
to have your
owners,
people work on 4th of July.
yeah, to be open.
Yeah.
Okay, finally, how many versions of the American flag are there?
Oh, so Betsy Ross was a seamstress. I'm gonna say
Now, we did change because of states, so
we've
there's
changed a
been
lot. I'm gonna say 12.
27.
Wow, interesting.
20 27. And for our last one, approximately, okay,
Hmm.
how many millions of hot dogs do Americans consume on the 4th of July? So, how many? I'm going to millions. How many millions of hot dogs?
Does Joey Chestnut's hot dogs count?
Yes.
Okay.
This is the last question. So, how many?
Hmm. For the 4th of July, I'm gonna say 80 million.
150 million hot dogs are
Ooh,
consumed.
I halved it. Wow,
That to me is a lot of hot dogs,
it's a
even if
lot of
you
hot
do
dogs.
have 340 million people eating them. But that
No,
is it.
that's hot dogs made, not hot dogs consumed, because those are different.
No, it's consumed. Americans consume approximately
Well, you
150
any 4th of July
million.
barbecue, any 4th of July barbecue you're at, there's a third of those hot dogs that won't be eaten.
Yeah, I didn't say well, it says they consume them. So I guess if you buy it, you consumed it. You are
Okay,
a
there you go.
consumer and you purchased it. So I'm having hot dogs at my barbecue, hot hamburgers and hot dogs. I'm staying totally American. Not
Mm.
doing Budweiser beer, but I am doing hot
What are you gonna drink
dogs.
instead?
Um, Probably iced tea and some type of lager.
Okay.
Maybe
Samuel
a
Adams.
Corona. Maybe I'll be really American and drink a Corona.
Get a British beer, just dump it out.
Oh, that's right. Well, hopefully, if you tuned in today, because a lot of people didn't work, some are working, and some just don't want to listen to a podcast day before a holiday. But if you are with us, we appreciate it. And we appreciate you tagging along. No show tomorrow. We'll have a short show on Friday so that we can tell you what movies to watch if you're bored and if it's raining where you are. In the meantime, for Tinfoil Ted and apprentice Isabella, who's a little under the weather, but still working, so you can send your cards and letters and encouragement to her. In the meantime, everybody have a safe and happy 4th of July, and we'll see you next time on Grab Your Gear.